threat of a national freight rail strike is no longer imminent, but it's also not off the table. Just days ago, the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way employees extended a cooling off period from November 20th to December 4th, allowing talks with the railroad industry to continue. The Association of American Railroads says it stands ready to reach an agreement to avert a strike that it projects could cost the economy $2 billion a day. Peter Kennedy, who represents the union as Director of Strategic Coordination and Research, told me union leadership would like to reach an agreement too, but it is prepared to strike if one is not reached. Can you explain why your union was one of the unions when the offer was initially made by the railroads to reject it? Some of the unions accepted what was happening in terms of the proposal, but your union and another did not. Why that discrepancy among the organized labor groups?
First of all, the railroads have made record profits for the last 2 decades. And during that time, railroad workers have continued to be trampled on. And what I mean by that is they've had thousands of their coworkers get sent home while they're left to maintain the existing rail infrastructure and under the same railroad traffic, or more or less the same railroad traffic. So they're doing more work for the same amount of pay over this course of time. And while that's going on, shareholders continue to reap massive rewards in stock buybacks. Just in 2022 alone so far, through the third quarter, Union Pacific, CSX, and Norfolk Southern have spent $11.5 billion on stock buybacks. We're literally asking for 2% of that and paid sick days. That 1 penny on every dollar of the record profits. We're not asking for a lot in addition to what we've already gained through a tentative national agreement. And so when you look at what the shareholders are getting, when you see that their stock prices for each railroad has hit triple digits, when you see that shareholders are reaping quadruple digits in dividends, percentage increases, these massive stock buybacks, and meanwhile you're doing the same, you're doing more work for the same rate of pay with less people around you to help do that work, it disenfranchises you and it frustrates you. And then when you add the COVID pandemic onto this, these members were literally treated less than human beings.
Peter, I appreciate the passion in which you delivered your statement. I want to conclude the interview with the big question, and that is, if you can't come to terms, is the union prepared to strike, even as there have been warnings from business groups that a railroad strike like this would potentially harm the economy?
So it is not our desire to strike. We have said that multiple times. It is not our desire to strike. We're asking for 1 penny of every dollar record profit. That is not a big ask. The railroads are paying their CEOs. It takes our guys to work a whole year plus 900 hours of overtime to make what one CEO makes in 2.5 days. We're not asking for a lot. We're just asking for a very small portion of it. It's time for the railroads to stop worshiping money and start helping their employees. It's time to put the employees first and see them as the truly valuable assets that they are, and that they're people. And with that said, our members are ready to go. They don't want to go. They don't have a desire to go unless the railroads don't want to treat them with respect and dignity.
Peter, thanks for taking some time out as the negotiations continue. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.